welcome. I'm going to show you in this video how to configure the defaults of a Putty environment. Putty is an SSH client that is used to connect to remote Linux hosts or servers. This is a key component of interacting with Trixie. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to start Putty from my system here. So when you start Putty fresh, after install, it comes blank like this. What you want to, well, I'm going to recommend here a few default settings change. These are all optional, but I think you'll agree with me that these could be useful. So the first thing you do, you click default setting, you click on load, then you want to head over to the window area here. This is the third option. You want to increase the scroll back buffer. This is the number of lines that you will be able to scroll back in history in your Linux remote session. Okay, so that's it for this one. Then the second option I always recommend to do is in the color section here. I found after experiencing this in a demonstration with collaborators and clients that if you try to project onto a projector and a screen a Putty session, the default color scheme is not that great. It's black and then your fonts are colored and it doesn't pop up too much on the projected screens. What I found over the years is that clicking this use system color will invert that and the background becomes white. The letters are sharper and easier to read. That's just a recommendation here. The next thing you want to look for is in the authentication of SSH. So a typical thing to prevent you, to reduce the number of times you enter your password, and I'm going to show you in a different session video how to do this. But you want to tick this box here to allow the agent forwarding. So this means that at login time, Putty will attempt to look into the system, and if it finds P agent running and a key is loaded in there, it's going to leverage that key at login time to authenticate you. So it makes it easier for when you connect several times often to Linux environment remotely. So allow agent forwarding, that's what it's used for. Then the last thing I suggest to users to do is to go in the X11 here, and even though you might not use it in every situation, setting it as a default to enable X11 forwarding makes things just easier down the road to troubleshoot. So at this stage, I think I have all my defaults changed the way I want them. I'm going to go back to the session section up there, click back the defaults and save. Okay, so now any new session created will inherit those choices. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so next step is to actually create a saved session so that it's easy to reconnect to the same host every time. So here you can type in a typical way to type in a host, the address you connect to. You can prefix everything with your username and the @sign, so you don't have to type in anything at login time. So you do that exactly here. So Paul P @ and then the host name or the IP of the system you're trying to connect to. In our case, it's going to be trixie.res.nrc.gc.ca, and the port 22 is a typical port for SSH. Now in the saved session, give that a user-friendly name, Trixie, and then save. Okay, at this stage, we have a session save. If we double-click this entry, we will be connecting over to Trixie. So at this time, what Putty will show you is a security alert, nothing to be alarmed. What this means is the client is connecting to a new host that he never saw before. So to prevent a man-in-the-middle attack, the typical thing here is that Putty will keep track of this fingerprint that is being presented to you, which identify the remote host. So if that string ever change in the future, this normally should not happen. But if it were to happen, you will be warned that somebody is trying to either do something funny, or the server had to be rebuilt, or whatever the reason. But if the name or IP you're trying to connect to has this key change, there has been some change on the other side. So maybe you want to check for that, if it's normal or not. So it's normal to have this problem. Yes, I trust that this is the host I'm supposed to be connecting to. And at this stage, you have to enter your res domain password. So I'll type it in here. And there you go. We're logged in. Okay, so that's it for now. It's a quick video, but it's just to highlight how I configure Putty to work the way I like. And the next video I will show you how to create an SSH key, and using pagent to reduce the number of times you have to enter the password. Okay, thank you.